two largest are Toledo and Rayburn. Together they cover about 250,000 acres of land. And the original construction was fought by forest industry, and that's one political battle they lost. The water interests wanted a better supply for refineries and rice farmers on the coast, and they won that battle. The impoundments were built after the present laws about mitigation went on the books, but we were unable to get anybody to seriously consider the rights of wildlife in the planning and construction of those two lakes. They were constructed in the early 1960s. Rayburn opened in 1965, I think, and Toledo in 66. At the beginning, there was a tremendous beneficial effect on waterfowl and on fish. Flooding new land brought a huge amount of new nutrients into the water, and there was a flush of food for fish, and everything prospered out there. The brim, the bass, the crappie, the catfish were there in great numbers, and they were all fat and plump. On the ramps where you launched your boat, there would be a machine where you could put your brim in it and put a quarter in the slot and have all the scales knocked off like an old-time washing machine. It was fixed to scale the fish. There were so many people coming in with sack loads of brim, there was no limit on them. For crappie, you could catch 50 and keep them. That was the glory days of the reservoirs, and it only lasted 5, 6, 8 years. Since then, the lakes have been getting less and less productive. Now, after 30 years more or less, it's unpredictable if one might catch any fish at all when it goes out. The good old days are definitely gone. They're not likely to ever be back. The land that was flooded will never produce any more squirrels, hickory nuts, food for mallards, all the great things that were supplied by that fertile river bottom and the adjacent hillsides is gone forever. And those two lakes will probably be standing 100, 200 years from now. All they're accomplishing is interfering with the cycling of nutrients. When it floods on the watershed, water levels go up. Silty water comes in, the silt goes to the bottom of the lake with the nutrients, and most of it is down where it's not used by fishers or anything else. The flow out of the bottom of the dam is still water with no nutrients to speak of. There are long-term consequences, this and many other things that weren't anticipated. The short-term benefits of a land use practice is the one that causes most decisions. And yet someone needs to be asking questions as to the wisdom of the action for the long term. I was mitigation coordinator, the first Texas ever had, and I butted my head against the wall mostly. Going to meetings with Corps of Engineers in Austin and in Galveston, meetings with Soil Conservation Service. They were busy building flood control structures all over the state, and little if any mitigation was ever accomplished under my years up until 1979 when I retired. Since then, some of the newer projects have planned for mitigation, and that was just part of the accepted expense for doing the project, and that's the way it probably will continue to be in the future.